Hey, it's Jason Carlson again with an update on the community pick build. I have all of the pick blanks, handle blanks, excuse me, cut and ready to go. And I have been through 8 different hook profiles, ground them, polished them, set them up so that they would be some of the best fit into each one of these. I said I was going to build 3, and I've got 1 extra here just because if I absolutely blow it, I'll have 3. There's always that build-in of extra resources. They look ugly as hell right now, and that's just kind of the way it is. But this is the way it's going to look. I've got it dry fit, and I'm going to get ready to start putting them together, gluing and pinning. And the next time that I check in will be after they're all glued up and set for pins and rough and final finishing. So there's the update, and I'll check in with you shortly. Checking back in. I now have 1, 2, and 3 glued up. And now we're going to do the 4th and final one. And of course, that means dogs will play. I'm going to use a bronze pearl essence in the epoxy to give the glue joint some depth. And I'm going to use 5-minute quick cure from Bob Smith Industries. This is the best epoxy that I have come across. Now, I'm not saying anything bad about anybody else's epoxy. This is just the material that I choose to use. And you'll hear the police scanner in the background. I'm off work today, so I'm listening to the good guys versus the bad guys, so to speak. And let's get this mixed together. And the bronzy color looks very nice and brown, and it should mesh nicely with the cocobolo and the ebony, as well as the maple and the purple heart that I put in this particular pick. Mix quickly and efficiently. Try not to get too many bubbles in it. And then I've super glued the steel into 1/2 of the pick handle, and then very liberally butter, love that word, butter these together. I've prepped both pieces of the pick handle with 120 grit sandpaper so that the epoxy will bond with the wood. And then mount it slightly back, push it forward until it meshes up at the front, and then some, not that one, clips. And I usually start in the front, making sure that everything lines up, and put one in the back, and of course it squeezes everything out. And choose to wear gloves. Some people react badly to the epoxy. I don't. I just don't like the ultra sticky fingers that you get. Now, as you can see, there's a fairly large gap between the 2 pick handle pieces, and I'm going to load the epoxy in there. And with the bronze filler, it will seep down into those crevices. And we're going to do it from the bottom as well. going to do this up in the front as well. Make sure that everything is well bonded. Now, I'm going to get lots of it on the steel as well, but that will be okay. It's just decoration. And what's nice is the epoxy sands away as nicely as the wood does, or the handle material. So we are now going to let that set for a bit, and I'm going to try to turn off the camera without getting epoxy all over it. Here they are in their final glue up. I haven't fully let the epoxy cure yet. This is number 1 that has the maple, ebony, bloodwood with gold epoxy in it, and the epoxy is still warm as it's curing, and it's going to be a short hook, and that one is set to go. This is the Cocobolo with ebony and bloodwood and maple stripes with bronze epoxy, and it's going to be a short hook in 18 thousandths. This one is 22 thousandths. This was a little bit of a kind of a funky challenge to put together, and it's going to turn out to be very unique put together. It's got ebony up front, the red Lava Bright, and then I had leftover maple, spalted maple, which I put in the back, and it's using a red epoxy to hold it together, and this one is going to be rather unique. Number 4 is well, let me go back to this one. Number 3, modified tip on this one. It's got multiple points on the hook to grab the pins, but on this one it's going to be a little bit steeper hook, a medium hook in 18 thousandths, and this one has black epoxy with Cocobolo, maple, and ebony. And like I've said in the past, whenever you get to this point, everything just looks flat out ugly. And somewhere inside each one of these is a beautiful pick ready to come out. We just have to take sandpaper and a file to it and slowly but definitely work our way into it. The next step in the next 24 hours will be to finish letting these cure and then pin them up. And I have some vanity pins that I'm going to use. One that's stainless steel and one that's copper with stainless steel on the inside, as well as some hollow copper, or hollow brass, sorry. Community pick build, moving along nicely. Update number 3. Number 4 will be after it's pinned, and we'll be doing some rough finishing. Talk to you later. Everybody have a great one. Remember to keep it real, keep it legal, and go through the lot.